Hi, my babies. Hi, my babies. Hi, and welcome back to another Sunday Mimosa. Today's Sunday Mimosa is, are they in your corner or your proximity? So we will be talking about the garden gnome, aka Shan. So me and her met at an old flea market that I used to work at, and I was actually in there that day with me and my sister because I was looking at like different shops to rent and stuff. But at that point in time, I had started like interviewing like black owned businesses on my Facebook Live because I would get views. And, like I would put people on to a black owned local business. So at the same time, I was looking at people I could interview as well, like to promote their business. But like I'm asking different questions, how much rent is, this, that, and the third. Like, did they go up on rent and this, that, and the third? And I ended up running into some people that I knew. And then I ended up running into this lady that owns a wig shop, but she's towards the back. And I'm like, girl, what you back here for? Ain't no traffic back here. And she was like, yeah, girl, I wish I had known that, before I had run into the shop. So I was like, well, can I interview you? Like for my Facebook Live. So like people could know like you in here. You could get more customers and stuff. And she was like, oh yeah, girl, let me straighten up the shop a little bit. Cause like she sell wigs and stuff. So like she trying to straighten up the shop and stuff. So like she running down her resume to me, and she worked with the hurrah players, which is like a really big like what do you call it? I'm trying to think what you call it. Like they do like music and like dancing and things of that nature. Theater. Okay, it's like a really big theater group out here. So like hurrah players is a big deal, and like she's done like plays and stuff at the opera house out here, which is also a big deal. So like she got a nice resume. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna interview you. I was like, yeah, girl, go ahead, get your shop together. So while me and her chopping it up, this little short lady come in, and it's like she being nosy because I mean it's thin in there. You can hear somebody, like especially in the back, it's an echo and stuff. So like I didn't know she had a shop, and her shop was on the next row. So she heard me and her having a conversation, and I said I was going to interview her for my Facebook Live. So I didn't know she would be a nosy and came over. I just thought she naturally came over there. No, she would be a nosy and came over there because she wanted to get interviewed too. And that's what she told me. She was like, yeah, I got a shop too. She's like, come interview me and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, why? Well, actually, she was the one that suggested it. She was like, well, why she set up the wig shop? You could come interview me. I was like, okay, cool. So I come and check out her shop. Me and her end up clicking instantly. I loved her personality. Like I would make her laugh and stuff. And she had more like a woman geared shop. So like she had like woman products in there, like lotions and things of that nature. Yoni steams, waist beads, and she had like handmade jewelry and stuff. Like she was creative and stuff. And also she sung, but she was like shy to sing. But she did sing for me one day. But like she was shy and like she got a little tone to her. But like when we were first meeting and stuff, like I see the Yoni steams and things of that nature. And she also had a Yoni seat in there as well to do your Yoni steams. So it was like it was certain questions I wanted to ask her because I was already preparing to start the launch Queen Alchemy. Like my focus was starting to shift. I was in chronic pain, like I had surgery, like I was going through, depression and stuff. So like it was a lot going on. And so like I was shifting my focus onto what my purpose was. And I was getting excited about, getting up to the launch of Queen Alchemy. And I'm doing research on different products and stuff. I knew I was going to do Yoni steams. I was like, oh, cool, she got Yoni steams. I was like, yeah, I'm going to ask you some questions about the Yoni steams when we get off the live. So I had interviewed her on the live. It was really good. I did a thorough, like, overview of her shop, like, different products and saying how dope everything. It was. It was. Her shop was dope. I'm not going to lie. Her shop was dope. It was very creative, very artsy, and that's kind of where we clicked at. So we add each other on Facebook because she was like, girl, you cool. She was like, let's stay in touch. I was like, okay. So we add each other on Facebook. I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm looking at the mutual friends, and one of the mutual friends is my twin flame. And my silly ass, I was like, girl, I was like, my twin flame. And I'm laying all on the floor. I'm kicking my feet up in the air. I was like, I love you. I was like, I love your cousin. Because she was like, that was her cousin. I was like, I love your cousin, girl. But what she didn't know at the point in time was I had the miscarriage. So I was still emotionally attached to him, even though I did not want to be with him. But me and her ended up having a conversation about him. And I did tell her about the miscarriage, but it was later on though. But I told her, like, basically, like, we dated for a few months. Like, we really enjoyed each other's company. He wanted to be with me, but he didn't want to fuck with me, like, in a relationship until, like, I financially got stable. And I understood that, but at the same time, my nigga, I won't press to be in a relationship with you, though. So, like, I was focused on my money and stuff, and he was upset because I was more focused on getting money. But, like, make up your mind. But I was telling her, like, basically, like, he really is a sweet person. Like, I don't hold no grudges or nothing against him. He really is a sweet person. He wasn't, like, evil to me and stuff. But I was like, he is naive, though, because he be letting his friends sway him. And that's not good. But she really liked my personality. And she used to tell me all the time, she's like, Nina, she was like, you really are a lovable person. She said, it's not hard to love you at all. You really are a lovable person. But it's like she kind of was pushing for me and him to get back together because nobody in the family, because she's not really his cousin. It's really her little sister's cousin. But because, you know, they grew up around each other, she calls him her cousin. But, like, nobody in the family likes his baby mama. So she was trying to kind of, like, push us. I was like, girl, no, it's not like that. But because she was my safe space and I'm holding it in that I had a miscarriage, because the only people that knew at the point in time, by the time I met her, that I had a miscarriage was me, him, the ER doctor, and the ER nurse, who was the one who actually slipped up and mentioned it to me. Because the doctor realized, he thought I didn't know I had a miscarriage, but I had a miscarriage months prior, but it showed up in my test, though. And so, like, yeah, the nurse ended up coming in the room and ended up slipping up. Ended up slipping up and basically confirming that I did have a miscarriage, but I knew that already, though. But, yeah, I ended up having a conversation with him about it, and we had a moment. But that's the only people I knew. Me, the ER doctor, the ER nurse, and him. And then eventually I ended up telling my cousin and my homegirl, because my homegirl and my cousin could press me. They're like, Nina, you pregnant. Nina, you pregnant. Especially my homegirl Punk. She's like, Nina, you pregnant. I know it. Nina, you pregnant. And I told her, I said, remember you cousin I was pregnant? And she's like, you was. I knew it. I knew it. You lied to me. So, I mean, it was kind of obvious. My body was changing. Like, my face was getting fat. I was glowing. My titties was getting, like, it was kind of obvious. My stomach getting bigger. Like, it was kind of obvious. I was starting to show a little bit. But I was still processing it, though, because having my miscarriage, it, like, slung me into my inner child healing very deeply, which is the journey that I'm on now. And so I was still emotionally attached to him. And I don't think she understood, like, yeah, I'm emotionally attached to him because his child was growing inside of me, but girl, I don't want him. Like, I realized I didn't want him when I came back from Cali, and we still fucked with each other for a little bit after that. Like, I knew I didn't want him when I was coming back from Cali. Like, the fuck? But it's like, she felt like we two good-hearted people, and we are. And, like, she was trying to press for us to be together, and that kind of put a strain on our relationship later on. So we ended up becoming really close. We added each other on Facebook, and it just got to the point where we would end up having, like, long conversations on Messenger. So then we just ended up exchanging phone numbers. We'd be texting all the time. Like, girl, what you think about this? And we clicked on, like, art, music, and spirituality, but also because, like, my twin flame is her quote-unquote cousin. Like, that was the person I would vent to, because I felt like I couldn't vent to nobody else. Like, after that first car accident, yeah, it's like I just didn't feel safe around people like that, because I realized people really don't got your back like they say you do. Like, when you up, yeah, everybody got your back, everybody love you. But when you down, like, you really see, like, who really fuck with you and who don't. So it's like, I really won't fucking with people like that. So to have someone who felt like a big sister, because that's kind of what it was, big sister, little sister type stuff. And, like, I do appreciate the genuine moments that we had, but y'all know how these Sunday mimosas go. Okay? And just wait for it. Just wait for it. But we did end up becoming really close, and I used to vent to her about, like, how my household would stress me out, but I wouldn't go into detail. And that was the thing. Like, if I would, like, open up to somebody, like, yeah, my household stressed me out, this, that, and the third, I wouldn't go into detail. Like, even my male best friend, like, he didn't know my sister molested me and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't go into detail why I was stressed out. They just knew I had issues with my family. So she knew that. So, like, she would, like, check on me, or she would try to do stuff to, like, to try to get me out the house and stuff, and I would turn her down most of the time. I'm not gonna lie, I would. I still was suffering from postpartum and depression, and then trying to adjust to chronic pain, not being able to move around the way I'm used to moving around. Like it was a big life adjustment. It was a huge life adjustment. And she was there for me through a very hard time in my life. So I do got to give the lady credit for that. But she would also vent to me like about her husband and his racist family and trying to get her sales off the ground because her husband was basically carrying the household. Her sales weren't doing what she wanted them to do. And also she has an autistic son who is what I consider a walking piece of art. And I told you I look at people like art. He's a walking piece of art. He's very unique looking. And he looked like artwork to me basically. But he's very high energy, but I understand children like that. So he was actually a joy to be around. Like I know some people wouldn't be able to handle. He was a joy to be around. He was. Autistic children are very special children. I feel like they're children that are special and touched by God in some type of way. And we're just not elevated enough to understand them. Because they have very high energy. Yeah, but like I said, she claimed to be spiritual, but later on I found out she's actually a voodoo witch and actually into hoodoo as well. But we also clicked because we both got molested when we were children, and that was the initial conversation that we had at first. And it's like we realized we had a lot in common, so why not add each other on Facebook? So she used to tell me I could come over her house when I needed a break, but like I said, at that point in time, I wasn't comfortable being around people and also law enforcement because her husband, he's like the manager of a prison out here. That's like a big prison out here and stuff. So at that point in time, I hadn't healed from like stuff I've been through with the police, so I wasn't comfortable necessarily with being around him because I'm like, you 5'0", okay, you 5'0". But like I said, I used to vent to her about my twin flame a lot because she was my safe space, but I didn't know it had started getting on her nerves. Okay. And I wish she would have told me because I would have stopped. But by the time she told me, it was very passive aggressively. And she was like, basically, like, I'm not trying to get in the middle between, like, the two of y'all. Well, ain't nobody asked you to get in the middle at first. You was just my safe space. Like, I just needed somebody I could vent to about it because I wasn't in therapy yet. So I just needed somebody I could vent to about it. And I just wish you would have told me sooner. Okay? I just wish you would have told me sooner. Cause I'm like, I'm not trying to get back with your cousin. Because she came back and told me something that he said. Something about, like, I wouldn't ride him. But I wouldn't ride him because, my nigga, you have erectile dysfunction. So maybe that's why she didn't want to get in the middle no more. Cause I was like, well, you know, if it was something to ride. And maybe that's why she was mad. Maybe that's why she was mad with him. Let that be the lesson why you shouldn't get in between people love situations. Okay, mind your business. Okay, mind your business. So one day I finally did go over her house, and I ended up doing a very, very extensive reading for her. It was supposed to be a 20-minute reading, but she kept talking and interrupting me. So it ended up being a 2-hour reading. But where I did her reading was in the living room. And it was like a sliding door, so it was like the sunlight was hitting the floor and stuff, and it was a wood floor. It was certain things that were just significant to me about the living room that made me choose to do her reading in there. And her son also had like this toy like train set. So it had like this train track that he had to build, and it was really big, and he made it in a circle. So when I do readings, I always have some type of symbol or something that's like a cloak or like a safety blanket when I do my reading to protect me. And I mean, I had my stones, but certain things like that, when I saw the train track, I knew to do it inside of the train track set. So I actually did her reading while sitting in the middle of the train track set, basically. And it was certain things that was significant, like the circle, but also the train track was also a clue to let me know the lady doing hoodoo, Nina. Like, and I knew that, but I didn't think like she would do something like to hurt other people though, like jinx people or hex people and stuff. But also train tracks are also tied to the I believe the Orisha Ogun, who likes me. So yeah. So that was also like a protection thing as well. So her husband ends up coming in while I'm doing the reading, and he calls my cards Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and like I laughed it off with a little fake laugh, but yeah, I don't play with Pokemon cards. I don't play with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. This ain't tic-tac-toe. This ain't none of that. Okay, don't insult what I do. Okay, don't insult what I do. Like, yeah, basically. She also offered for me to come over and sunbathe topless in her backyard, and I turned her down. One, you have a husband. She was like, oh, you could come over when he's not here, when he go out of town, or when he at work or something. But I just wasn't comfortable, and someone told me not to do it, and I'm glad I didn't. By the way, her husband is white as well. And so she ended up actually going to, I think it's like Kentucky or something like that, where he's from, to go visit his family. And she hates to go visit his family. So she was texting me the whole time. She was so uncomfortable. His family's racist. They don't like black people like that. Like, they don't really like her or the son because the sons have black. Like, the dog would chase the son. Like, it's just certain things, little things they would do to kind of torture her and her son while they were there. And like, she hated being there. And she wanted to leave, but she stuck it out. And she texted me saying girlish stuff, moving in the room at night while she's sleeping and stuff. Like, it was just too much. Okay, it was just too much. And I felt so bad for her that she had to go through that. But also what solidified our friendship was when there was the baby food shortage, and like, it was a shortage on baby food and stuff. She decided to come up with an idea, which I thought was really dope, because you know I rock with people that do stuff like this, to make organic baby food. She got a whole bunch of vegetables. She got people to donate like fruits and vegetables to her. She ended up getting a local church that was in her neighborhood to let her use their commercial kitchen, so she could like cut up all the fruit and stuff and blend. And she thought she was going to have a whole bunch of volunteers, all these people saying they were going to help her. And you got to get your food handle license permit thing. And I went ahead, took the class, took the test, and got that. And I showed up, and I was the only person that showed up. I was the only person that showed up. I ended up cutting myself too. And I couldn't believe I did that. I'm like, how the fuck I cut myself, bruh? But yeah, I was the only person that showed up, and I had to support her, but I couldn't stay the whole time. And I told her that because I'm in chronic pain. When I say I was in so much pain, but I was thugging that shit out for like the last 2 hours. Like, I can't leave her. And I told her I was gonna come for an hour. I ended up staying for like 4, like close to 5 hours. And like, I can't leave her in here by herself like this, bro. All these people told her that they were gonna show up, and they didn't. Like, that's fucked up. And she got all these fruits and vegetables she gotta cut and shit. Like, the fuck. So, like, that kind of solidified our friendship, and I showed her, like, I got your back, I support your cause, because, I mean, you doing something for the people. Nina gonna be there, Nina could be there to help, because that's what it's about. It's about helping the people. So, you know, I helped for as long as I could, and she said she probably stayed like an hour after I left, because she was in there for a minute, though. She was in there for a minute before I even, like, had showed up. But she was in there in the dark, and she said she started hearing like people walking through the church. Like, she's like, yeah, I don't know these people that well. Let me go ahead and go. Okay, let me go ahead and go. So she went ahead and packed it up, but she was able to make, I forgot how many packs, and she was able to get some to like people in need that needed it, and I thought that was really dope. So me and her on the phone one day, and my mediumship gift kicked in, and I wasn't expecting it to. So her dad unfortunately passed away in a motorcycle accident. And like, she used to like talk to me about him because she really was close to him. She misses him a lot. And I thought it was really dope that she even had that type of relationship with her dad. And he ended up coming to me when we was speaking about him one day, because she kind of had suspicions about like the wife doing something like foul or something like to cause the accident. And she had mentioned something like, well, she's like, I don't know, Nina, I keep going back and forth. Like, did she do something or didn't she do something? She said, but I mean, she is a Christian. And her dad came to me. Her dad said, that bitch ain't no Christian. And I repeated it just like he did it, smacking his lips and everything. She said, oh my God, Nina. And then he said like a few other things. And she said, Nina, she said, I know you telling the truth. Because she said, when you said that bitch ain't no Christian, she said, and smacking your lips and everything, she said, you said it just like him. She said, that shit is scary. She said, she the one that told me, the first one that told me. She said, you really young to have that mediumship gift as well as you have it. Like, she said, your gift is really strong. Her dad came through clear as day. He said, that bitch ain't no Christian. I said, girl, I think I'm hearing your daddy. She said, what'd he say? I said, okay. And I said it. She said, oh my gosh. She said, Nina, that's my dad for real. She said, that really is him. So I was going through with my family, and she wanted to get me out the house. So she was like, come with me to run some errands and stuff. So we ended up going to, what was it? Not MacArthur. It was Military Circle. It was one of them damn malls. Yeah, we went to Military Circle Mall. That's what it was. We went to Military Circle Mall, and I took a picture in front of this butterfly for this local artist that I knew. He painted the mural and she took the picture for me. And I remember we was walking around the mall and they started playing Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson, Say, Say, Say. And I'm singing it and stuff. And the first part is Paul McCartney. So she was like, what song is this? And she could be like, how do you know the lyrics to this? What song is this? And then Michael Jackson started singing. I'm singing Michael part. She said, is that Michael Jackson? I was like, yeah, girl, you ain't never heard Say, Say, Say by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. She was like, no, I haven't. And she looked up when it came out. She said, and why do you know it? Because she was like, you younger than me and you know this song and I don't. I'm like, I grew up in a house with Jackson heads. Like, okay? It's like Jackson 5 all throughout this family. Somebody somewhere is playing the Jackson 5 right now in my family, bro. Like, I grew up with Jackson here, so I know a lot of songs that maybe some people may not know. And I was shocked she didn't know. I'm like, girl, you were born in the 80s. You don't know Say, Say, Say by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson, yo. But then we end up going past this boutique from this lady who's very popular out here. And she used to be in the flea market that I met her in, that I used to work in. Actually, I bought a shirt from the lady because she got this clothing boutique. I bought a shirt from the lady. I mean, the shirt was cute. The shirt was cute. I gave it a what's for. She goes in the boutique, and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, damn, bro, I got my own boutique, and I'm about to start my new company. And that's the whole reason why I was in there looking at the flea market shops. Cause I'm like, I need somewhere where I can have my products out so people can see it every day. And like, I was going to like have a half and half, have my boutique and then also have my apothecary products. So she ended up speaking to the boutique owner. And she was like, Nina, I'll be back. She said, I'm going to go speak to her right quick. And I didn't know that she was like this. She's a Cancer though. So, a Cancers, unevolved Cancers, they could be unevolved Cancers. They could be very manipulative and controlling and calculated. And that's why some Cancers get a bad rep. Is for the Cancers that act like that. And she's one of them. Because she went in there purposely to become the lady friend. To do exactly what she did to me. Oh, you interview me. Put me on your live. Because she's trying to climb her way up on other people back to the top, bro. And that is not how you do it. And I'm sitting here thinking this is a sweet lady. This, that, and the third. But her license plate says Eveline. There was another clue. Okay? There was another clue. Her license plate says Eveline. Bro, like, the fuck? So, yeah, so basically, she ends up hoodwinking the lady. And they end up becoming close and cool and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, damn, I should have been asking her questions, too. Like, about, like, setups and this, that, and the third. Like, how did she... Basically, what I really wanted to ask the lady was, how did you transfer? Because that was my goal as well. How did you transfer from the flea market to the mall? Because I didn't want to go to the mall, but I want to go from the flea market to, like, a brick and mortar. So, it's like, I felt like at the point in time, God was putting me in alignment with people that I could ask certain questions so I could figure out exactly how to go about getting my goals done. That's completely different from asking somebody advice, okay? To befriending someone so you can use their friends and their contacts and their customers for your sales. Like I said, her sales was low, so she was trying to figure out any like kind of way that she could to get her sales up. But she did end up closing down her shop because she couldn't make the rent and she was coming out of pocket. Well, her husband was coming out of pocket. So it was like she was trying to figure out like what she wanted to do next, basically. And so I guess getting in with this boutique lady was kind of like her foot in the door, and it seemed like it kind of worked for her. Because the boutique lady damn sure fell for it, and damn sure did everything she wanted her to do, okay? She surely did. But me and her did have like some conversation, but I started noticing her energy was shifting. Because she did take me past the post office, because I was selling my Aura Mist at that point in time. I hadn't fully launched Queen Alchemy, but I was already selling the Aura Mist, but they ain't had no labels on it. So she took me past the post office so I could mail my packages. And I was having a conversation with her. I was like, yeah. And like I just randomly said it. Because we speak about like witchcraft or something like that. And I just randomly said, I said, yeah, I can tell when somebody, like, because she know I don't do that shit. And so she used to tell me, she said, yeah, I don't think what we do is witches. I said, I know I ain't no witch. I don't do witchcraft. The fuck you mean? So I said, I don't think we should call ourselves, I don't call myself a witch. I don't do witchcraft, baby. I don't manipulate the energy. I align with it, babe. Okay? I align with it, babe. But I told her, I said, yeah, I can always tell when somebody attacked me with witchcraft. At that point in time, that's when all this shit had started happening. But it was just starting up. It won't bad yet. And she was like, how do you know? And I was like, my foot. And I told her what happened to my foot when I can tell someone attacked me. And she had like a shocked and surprised, but like a scared look on her face at the same time. And that was my confirmation. Yeah, Nina, she did attack you with witchcraft last night. Because God surely came to me and told me, Shannon's attacking you with witchcraft, Nina, the night before. And it wasn't even 24 hours later. We standing outside the fucking post office. And there was my confirmation. And I started catching it there. And I started slowly backing up for her. And I'm like, bro, I ain't do shit to you. Like, why are you mad at me? But me thinking that she would want to see me win as a person, I had told her about my YouTube channel. And I said, I don't tell people about it. And she went and looked, and she was like, you got all these subscribers. Look at your views. Y'all know what my views was at when she went to go look at my YouTube channel. I was getting between 5,000 to 8,000 views every video. I was getting between 5,000 to 8,000 views every video. And shortly after she found out about my YouTube channel, my views dropped down to 1,000 to 3,000 views a video. And then it dropped down to 1,000 to 2,000 views a video. Right. God always reveals. And this is someone who I wanted to win, someone who I wanted to be successful, someone I didn't see as competition. Then she finds out I start Queen Alchemy. I told her I was going to do Queen Alchemy. I didn't tell her the name of it, though. She thought I was just going to stay on jewelry. I started putting out handmade earrings. And she asked me how I made my earrings. My ass tell her why her homegirl pop up and start selling cups made the same way I sell my earrings. And she told the lady my method. Like, it was just clues that kept popping up. And I'm like, yo, that's why I say I don't wait for the car to blow up no more. When the engine get the smoke in and you done lost the tire and we riding on the flats here, baby, let me out. Let me out, boo. Go on, let me out, boo. I'm just waiting for the car to fucking blow up for me to get it. I done did that too many times. Nina's tired of sacrificing me. I'm not going to betray myself anymore. Okay? So, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I need to back up. But I'm thinking this is someone that's cool with me because another thing that we had in common was we like what people like to call white people music. Meaning we do like rock. We do like country. We like white people that sing that shit. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. All right? I don't see color when I listen to music. I said, shout out to Carly Buds, though. Okay? Shout out to Carly Buds, though. I don't see color when I listen to music. So it's like certain groups who like, oh, have you heard this song by them? Oh, have you heard this song by them? Oh, girl, that's my shit. You know about that? Oh, yeah, I fuck with you. like we had a real common ground, like listening to what people call quote unquote white people music. So like that was my white people music friend. And we would listen to our white people music together. And it was one particular song. I want to say it was Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, where they scream in the beginning. And she said, Nina, you know what you need? She said, you need a good scream. And she played that song. She said, scream with him. And that's what I bet I screamed to the top of my fucking lungs, let that shit out, bro. I felt like I was suffocating. She let me scream in her car. So things like that to me, that solidifies you. It's not the shit that you buy me. It's not like, artificial shit. It's shit like that. Like, yo, you going through it? Like, you could lean up against me for a little bit. I'm not going to be your crutch, but you could lean up against me for a little bit. Because that's what you would do for me. Reciprocation, like, I don't know. I want to go back to the 90s. Fuck. Okay, I want to go back to the fucking 90s. Anyways. Okay. But yeah, she was jealous of my channel. My views started dropping. But I wasn't thinking that she was attacked. I was still pushing it back. Like, nah, Shan ain't doing that shit to me, bro. Shan wouldn't do that to me. She know my situation. She know I'm working hard. Shan wouldn't do that to me. Oh, baby, did Shan do it? Okay, did Shan do it? And then she also started doing witchcraft on Facebook to be popular. And her face, like, I'm trying to tell you, okay, like her Facebook just took off out of nowhere. And then you fast forward to one of them Sundays in Mimosas. I don't know if it's 22 or is one of them around there though. About me speaking about the boy I was helping trying to get out of jail. And me and the lady, what did I call her? Miss Betty. We're going back and forth on Facebook. because she liked me until she went out of town. A group of black women out here, middle-aged black women, went out of town to Maryland to go see Black Street and all these throwback, Jodeci type groups like that back in the day. But somehow, someway, Nina was the topic of conversation, and y'all went to go see a fucking like epic R&B concert with multiple super groups from the 90s in a whole nother state, and Nina was the conversation for the whole weekend though, and motherfuckers came back to VA popping shit about Nina all week on fucking Facebook, and Nina ain't catch it to the end because Nina was busy. Come to find out, it comes from Shan, and Shan thinks I don't know. And she been out here running her mouth trying to get people not to like me as well. Oh, baby. Okay, I ain't no fucking fool. Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you. And so now, all of a sudden, my twin flame, he ends up with herpes. Now, somehow, some way, it's Nina's fault. Nina, who he hadn't had sex with in a year and some change. Okay, somehow, some way, it's Nina's fault. Because that's what my sister put in his ear. Because my sister want to be popular. She fucked my twin flame, and that's how she ended up with herpes. Okay, I don't know why people want to be so popular for him. Why that shit's so important. Peace of mind is more important to me, baby. Okay, Miss Shan, I do not do witchcraft. I do not do voodoo. I don't do none of that. If I was to do witchcraft, the first thing I would do would be to get some money to get a car and a house. You stupid ass bitches. God told me I cannot do witchcraft or they would take all my spiritual gifts, and I'll be damned. Okay, I'll be damned if I let that happen. Okay, I did not cast no spell or send no evil eye or nothing of them sorts to your cousin. Your cousin, like fucking bitches that he met in the club the same week that he met them, Miss Shan. I didn't make your cousin catch herpes. That was his inner child, baby. And okay, it was a couple of people that put witchcraft on the kid as well. Erica and Kia. Okay, so you might want to look that way far as the witchcraft go, but I don't. I would not ever fucking do no evil shit like that to him. He was a sweetheart. Was sometimes when he treated me not the best, yeah, but he was really a sweetheart to me for the most part. I ain't got no grudge against that man. I wish he would wake the fuck up and see the people around him and his damn friend. But girl, I don't wish no harm to that man. I actually wish him the best. I actually wish him success because he's great at what he does. I don't got nothing against your cousin, girl. Ain't nobody trying to hurt him, not me, okay? I don't know about everybody else, but not me, though. I was the one person that was really in that nigga corner. And I was in his corner for who he was, not for his stage name. Because he actually was vulnerable with me and allowed me to see who he really is. And that's who I had loved. That's who I had fell in love with. The person without the glitz, the glam, the sunglasses, okay, and without all the groupies around him. I got to see him for who he really is. And that's why me and that man vibed. I don't wish your cousin no harm, girl. I don't fucking do witchcraft on a damn show. I wouldn't do no shit like that. But my sister did try to curse me with some shit like that. So it may have hit him because I do love him. I did love him at the point in time. So it is very possible that that shit hit him. Because I did almost have sex with him. And I was supposed to catch it, and I didn't. She ended up catching it because she had sex with him. So listen, okay? Literally, she caught her own damn curse. God damn. But no, I don't wish that man no harm, no danger. I wish, he respect himself more, though. All honesty, girl, I ain't got nothing against your cousin. I wish you get up off whatever grudge you got, though, shorty, 'cause I ain't did shit to you. I wish you nothing but the best. So, babies, the lesson is, just because they say they spiritual doesn't mean they are. And just because they smell in your face every day doesn't mean they aren't doing witchcraft behind your back. All right, babies. I'm your girl, Virgo Garden. If you didn't know that shit, I bet you know that shit now. How to follow me, how to book me, and how to get my wonderful, beautiful, amazing products that you all love so much will be down below in the description box, baby. Okay, stay on your P's and Q's and stay out here high alert, because I'm trying to tell you, these people will smile in your face every motherfucking day and be throwing witchcraft on your ass. Trust me, I live with it. Are they in your corner or are they in your proximity? I think you might want to slow down and take a reevaluation and do an energy circle check and really find out which is which and who is who. I said, think about it. Love you, babies. Keep that third eye open. Mwah.